is like my favorite anime, but all these arcs aren't the best, and some of them are really good. But we're about to rank starting from Romance Dawn all the way to Egghead. Let's get it. So, Romance Dawn. So this is when Luffy popped out of the bucket. He met Zoro and Nami. So this is a pretty good start to One Piece. I kind of like Romance Dawn. It was also like the backstory of Luffy, like in some aspects. It showed some aspects of Luffy's backstory. So I'll give Romance Dawn like a B minus or low B tier. So it's the first B tier in our Orange Town. I'd say I'd give Orange Town like a. Orange Town is when Luffy, Zoro, and Nami were fighting Buggy and some other crewmate of Buggy's. I don't know, like that arc was kind of mid to me. It wasn't that good in my opinion. There were some funny moments, but that's pretty much it. And no, there's also the backstory of the one dog in Orange Town. Yeah, so it was pretty interesting. I'd give Orange Town a high C tier. I don't think it's worthy of a B tier yet. I'll just give it a high C tier. So Syrup Village was when Usopp recruited. When Luffy recruited Usopp. Um, so that was like when Kuro came to Syrup Village. This is just Usopp's arc, basically Usopp's origins. I'd give like Syrup Village a solid like C tier, honestly. Yeah, Syrup Village is a solid C tier. So the Barati is actually a really good arc. So this is when Sanji joined the crew, but this was also like our introduction to the Barati, where where it was, and the Mihawk versus Zoro fight also happened. The Mihawk versus Zoro fight was like one of the best fights in the beginning of One Piece, because that set up a lot of things with Zoro and Mihawk. Zoro wanting to be the world's greatest swordsman, and also Mihawk just being the world's greatest swordsman. It just set up a lot of things for Zoro, and that was a great start to One Piece. That was one of the best fights to start off One Piece. So I'd give the Barati like a B tier, honestly. Yeah, I think the Barati is better than Romance Dawn, so Barati is like high B tier. Arlong Park. So Arlong Park was actually a really good arc. So this is when the Straw Hat crew fought the Arlong crew. So the Straw Hat crew obviously won, but I think that was like the one of the best arcs to start off One Piece. So I feel like this is an A tier, honestly. Because let's think about it. There was Nami's backstory, Nami's whole backstory, which was actually kind of sad, and also her being Arlong was just the best thing that ever happened to her. And Nami just thought the Straw Hat crew could be Arlong, but in the end they did, and it restored their village. So I'm giving Arlong Park an A tier, honestly. That's our first A tier. So Logtown. Um, Logtown was kind of boring, in my opinion. Yeah, Logtown was, I don't know, it was not a bad arc necessarily, but it was just a little boring. But there were some funny moments when Luffy reenacted the Gold Roger. That scene, that was kind of funny. It was just when Smoker and Tashigi were there. Yeah, I mean, Lockdown wasn't a bad arc necessarily. I think I put Lockdown in low C. Low C. Reverse Mountain. Um, I mean, Reverse Mountain just introduced Laboon, and that's pretty much it. Didn't really have that much to offer. I mean, Reverse Mountain was also just like, I don't know. It just connected to Brook, honestly. I don't really like Reverse Mountain. It was really just bland, in my opinion. Reverse Mountain is a D tier, honestly. It's a D tier. Whiskey Peak was one of those arcs where it was like an underrated arc, in my opinion. Whiskey Peak is kind of underrated. Showed Miss Valentine and I forgot the other guy's name, but it just started off Alabasta. It was like an arc connecting into Alabasta. I'll give Whiskey Peak a high C tier. So Little Garden, um, I mean a lot of people like this arc because of the two giants. Set up some of Albath, but like I don't know, Little Garden was a C tier for me. It was just I think it was better than Orange Town. Here, let's place this. So I feel like Whiskey Peak is better than Little Garden, but Orange Town is not. I don't think Orange Town is better than Syrup Village, and then I think Log Town is better than Orange Town. So this is the ranking for C tier. So Drum Island. Drum Island was Chopper's backstory and his island. Chopper's backstory was actually kind of sad in my opinion, and I didn't like actually like think Drum Island's villain was good. Wappo was not a good villain, honestly. I feel like Drum Island is still a C tier. Like Drum Island is still a C tier. I think it's like a good C tier, like second after Whiskey Peak, but Drum Island's still a C tier, bro. Okay, so Alabasta. This is where like One Piece was getting to like its peak, but like I don't think it's as good as some arcs. Like Alabasta was really really good in my opinion. Alabasta had Vivi in it, had Cobra, King Cobra. The villain was really good. Crocodile was really good. The fights were intense. It introduced Robin. Yeah, like Alabasta was a really good arc, but I'm not putting it in S tier. I feel like Alabasta is the highest A tier that we're gonna have today, but like there's no way Alabasta is S tier because there's so many other arcs putting Alabasta high A tier. Okay, so Jaya, this was okay arc. I mean, introduced Bellamy and introduced just like some random characters, I guess, and it was just like gateway to Skypiea. And yeah, in Jaya, Blackbeard was randomly there too, so they bumped into each other, but nothing really happened there. So I'll put Jaya at like higher than Drum Island, but like yeah, I'll just put Jaya right here. Okay, so Skypiea is next. Skypiea like is a really divided arc. Some people either really like it or some people hate it. But Skypiea was really good in my opinion. But I feel like Luffy had plot armor in that because NL couldn't damage him because Luffy was just Robin found the poneglyphs and the crew just worked together more. So I'll put Skypiea like right under Alabasta in my opinion, right under Alabasta. Long Ring, Long Land was the worst One Piece arc with the Foxy fight, everything like that. But I will say the fight with Aokiji was good after Long Ring, Long Land. So I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's Water 7 or Long Ring, Long Land. But the Foxy arc was ass. All that shit, just like the long people, everything. I did not understand the arc. The arc was stupid in my opinion. There were some funny moments, but it's the worst arc in One Piece. If there was an F tier, I'd put it in there, but it's going at the bottom of the tier. Okay, so Water 7 alone without any lobby. I really like Water 7 personally. I feel like even without endings lobby, that was a solid arc. That was a really, really solid arc. Bro, one of my favorite parts in Water 7 is when like Sanji was just like creeping up on the CP9. The reveal of CP9 was insane. Yeah, Water 7 was actually a really good arc in my opinion. I think Water 7 goes like in between Skypiea and Arlong Park. So Endy's lobby has to be like one of the best One Piece arcs. It's going straight into S, bro. Robin's backstory is like one of the saddest backstories, first of all. And second of all, let's think about it. CP9 was like one of the best villains we got at that time. Gear 2 was like the best reveal, one of the best moments in One Piece. The I want to live moment. Bro, no. I'm not gonna lie. Endy's lobby is like one of the best arcs in One Piece. Okay, post Endy's lobby. I mean, Guard came to Water 7. Usopp was gonna come back to the crew. This arc was like a solid C tier, honestly. I feel like it's higher than Whiskey Peak, even in C tiers, because like I like that one speech that Zoro had, and Garp also came, and it was revealed that Garp is Luffy's grandpa. Thriller Bark. I mean, the first half of Thriller Bark was trash. It was trash. I mean, it was funny, but like, bro, that shit was hard to sit through. It was hard to sit through. That shit was comparable to Punk Hazard. I'm not gonna lie. But the second half, when Zoro took all of Luffy's pain, it's the best moment Zoro had. So in my opinion, Thriller Bark is like the first half is a D tier, but the second half is a B tier. So I'm just gonna put it Thriller Bark at B, bro. No, the second part is an A tier. No, the second part is A tier. So I'm just gonna put it low B tier. Nah, I'm gonna put it at high B tier. I'm not gonna lie. Thriller Bark is better than Baratie and Romance Dawn, but yeah. Okay, Saba Odi. Okay, Saba Odi. This arc, although it wasn't that long, it was really good. So all the worst generation, we were introduced to all of the worst generation. Law was there, Bonnie was there, all of these people, Kid. That was just cool. The Straw Hats fought all the pacifistas, and they fought Kizaru. I like Saba Odi, and everyone got teleported to their own islands where they didn't see each other for 2 years. So Saba Odi is actually a really good arc in my opinion. I say Saba Odi is like bottom A tier. Amazon Lily. Amazon Lily was actually a good arc. I don't really have any complaints about it other than it was a little short, but like it showed Boa Hancock's backstory. So in my opinion, Amazon Lily is like a B tier. It's a solid B tier. I think it's better than Romance Dawn. Yeah, it's B tier. Impel Down was an okay arc, but I liked how it connected to the war, and it had a lot of good moments, like the fight with the poison guy. I forgot his name, but that guy One Chan, he sacrificed his life for Luffy. Well, I put Impel Down around like a B tier, bro. Yeah, I'm putting Impel Down over Thriller Bark actually. Marineford was a really, really good arc. Marineford has to be like one of the best arc in One Piece. Not even one of the best. It was the best arc in One Piece. There were just so many fights that happened in order to try and save Ace. Obviously, that didn't happen, but still, the way Akainu killed Ace was insane. Luffy went out of his mind. Even the way like Luffy entered in, like it just showed how much aura he had. Like that was insane. But like Marineford had a lot of good fights, just with Mihawk fighting, Boa Hancock fighting, all of these fights. Just Whitebeard dying, Blackbeard having now 2 devil fruits, Shin showing up at the end. Bro, Marineford is a masterpiece. Marineford is the best arc ever. Marineford is the best arc. It's S tier, like the top of S tier. Post war, I mean nothing really happened post war. It was just more so Luffy just understanding that he has friends even though his brother died, and Luffy trains a lot with Rayleigh. They started their training arc, and yeah, it's just setting up. Post war was just a setup, and also post war showed. Oh yeah, I forgot. Post war showed Luffy's backstory, which was really interesting. Honestly, like it was a good arc. It was like wholesome. Honestly, it was a wholesome arc. So I'd put like post war at a solid like B tier, like solid like I'll put it at like I'll put it like right there. Yeah, post war. No, honestly, I don't know if post war was better than Baratie. I'll put post war after Baratie. Yeah, that's where I'll put it. Turn to Sabaody. I mean, Return to Sabaody was okay. I mean, we saw the Straw Hats come back and rekindle, and they just like saw each other once again after 2 years. And then there was the fake Straw Hats, which they had to fight. And then Rayleigh came. I mean, yeah, Rayleigh was also there. So it was not bad. And then also, yeah, it was just like starting Fishman Island, I guess. So I mean, I'll put it at the top of C tier. I think Return to Sabaody is under post Endy's lobby, so I'm gonna put it after that. So Fishman Island. I mean, Fishman Island is a good arc for showing like the Straw Hats' new powers. It also had like Fisher Tiger in it. It had a lot of backstories. Fishman Island is a solid A tier, I think. Like it's low A. I think Arlong Park, yeah, Arlong Park should stay there. But I feel like Fishman Island is like after Sabaody, yeah. Okay, Punk Hazard is like, in my opinion, the worst like big arc in One Piece. Like Caesar was not a good villain, bro. Caesar was just not a good villain. And there was Monet too. There was Virgo. That was just I don't like Punk Hazard that much. I mean, Smoker and Tashigi came back too. I'm just gonna put Punk Hazard right under Thriller Bark as like I don't really like those arcs that much. Like they're okay, that's it at most. But Thriller Bark the end was good. Dressrosa. Now here it gets good. So Dressrosa had Doflamingo and his backstory. Doflamingo had had shown how like being a celestial dragon and all of these things affected him. Like a lot of things happened. He showed how he got his crew. It showed a lot of things honestly. So Dressrosa also had like Law's backstory. He had Rebecca's and Heroes' backstory. So Rebecca's and Soldier's backstory. It had a lot of really sad backstories and also had a really good fight at the end. But they also were pulling out the map so many times. But that's the only bad thing I have to complain about. Oh, and also had Senior Pink's backstory. Bro, now Dressrosa was filled with backstories, but it was a really good arc in my opinion. It was actually a really good arc. So I'm gonna put it in S tier. Zoe. Zoe was a good arc to set up Whole Cake Island and Wano. Zoe is a good arc that explains Zunisha. set up a lot of things for One Piece in like Wano. So I feel like Zou is like a Zou's like a low B tier. Yeah, Zou's like a low B tier. Yeah. Whole Cake Island. So Whole Cake Island. This was a good arc and overall. Big Mom forcing Sanji to marry Pudding. Just Sanji's whole entire backstory with Judge and his brothers and his sister Riju and his mother. I feel like this arc was really slept on in my opinion. Just Katakuri's fight with Luffy as a whole was really good. So I feel like Whole Cake Island just goes to S tier, bro. I'm not gonna lie, Whole Cake Island is better than Alabasta, but let me tell you why. Alabasta didn't really have backstories like that, but Whole Cake Island has Sanji's backstory, and I feel like Big Mom being the villain, or like some of the villain in Katakuri also being the main villain in Whole Cake Island was like, I feel like Whole Cake Island's dynamic works better than Alabasta. But I feel like Alabasta should go up. No, Alabasta should just stay at A tier because we didn't know how good One Piece was gonna be at that time. I feel like people who really like Alabasta are blinded by nostalgia. So I feel like Whole Cake Island's better than Alabasta, in my opinion. Okay, so the Reverie, what the fuck? Like, this arc didn't even last that long. I'm just putting this as C tier, bro. I mean, it's better than Logtown, Orange Town, Syrup. I don't know. I feel like it goes there. Yeah. Wano, bro. This is like a goated arc. This is like, bro, Big Mom, Kaido, all of these people, all the emperors, 2 emperors of the sea got defeated by Luffy, Law, and Kid. That's insane. And the whole arc, just the whole vibe of the arc was insane. Just like Zoro, and even the Zoro and Killer fight was insane. Zoro versus King was insane. All these fights were crazy in my opinion. Sanji versus Queen was also good. So I'm just gonna put Wano as S tier, but overall Whole Cake Island. No, Wano's over Dressrosa too. Wano's over Dressrosa as well. Egghead Island. Egghead Island isn't done, but Egghead Island has to be like a really, like, it's an S tier arc so far. From what I've seen, like from some of the manga and stuff, what happens with the Saturn Gorosei fights, even the Kizaru fight is insane with Luffy. All these fights are just like really good in my opinion. So I feel like Egghead is gonna go like, Egghead is gonna go at like S tier after Dressrosa. Because let's think about it. It's not done, and Dressrosa has more backstories than it. It has Doflamingos, it has laws. It has, I don't know Kuma's backstory right now, but everyone's saying it's really good. But I feel like Dressrosa as a whole just impacted One Piece, like not the lore, but like it just impacted the One Piece experience. Like what I mean by that is like just like all these backstories versus one backstory. I feel like these two are interchangeable in my opinion. These two are interchangeable. Egghead Island and Dressrosa are interchangeable in my opinion. But yeah, so this is my One Piece tier list. Thank you for watching this video.